Alright, so I don't know if anybody will get watching today, but I'm going to finish off this Slayer. It's level 13. This is the one that let me just make sure I've got my audio going. Yep, we're good. This is the one that I just rifled through, didn't do all of the quests, and now it's taken me forever to go through and do the quest line and level up because I'm not getting experience fighting the mobs for the quests at the same time. I'm getting some experience, but not a lot. But before I moved on with the leveling, what I wanted to try and do is just actually post this link in one more place. I wanted to check. So this is my engineer as well over here. So I'm kind of on two screens here. I wanted to check how the engineer's shield turret works in a duel. Does it automatically absorb the incoming damage of the opposing target, or does that person just get the opportunity to ignore that shielding turret? So we are going to, let's see, I'm trying to remember if I've done a duel before. So let's say double click on him and I select duel. Cannot duel in this area. What do I have to do? Get more towards the center. Entered the dueling area. So now we're in the dueling area and we're going to go run our engineer over there. So here he comes. And we're both in the dueling area. And I'm going to double click on him and we are going to select duel. We are going to accept. Alright, and so we're preparing to duel. All I'm going to do is drop my shielding turret. So I've dropped my shielding turret down. I'm going to run over. Okay, so now I'm targeting. So it sure seems like it ignored my shielding turret. So I'm going to let that respawn and I'm going to hit a heal potion over here. Oh, can't use heal potions in duels. That's kind of lame. That's alright. So we're going to spawn it again. And we'll do just a couple of hits. Yeah, so I mean, I'm taking the reflection damage. But unfortunately, the shielding turret is doing nothing. I'm going to put that in the Discord chat. I don't know if that's supposed to be that way or not. But thanks, Luke. But it looks like that. And let me run my engineer out. Just do a couple more tests. I assume I don't die if I run out of. And there we go. So get a little bit more health. And we'll just hit that one as well. Double click. Duel. Confirm. So again, we are going to launch our shielding turret here. Come over with the Slayer. Now, yeah, see that's not hitting my shield at all. All it's doing is hitting me. So, unfortunately, I would say both, probably the taunting turret that you get later on in the engineers class and the shielding turret that you get in the first 15 levels. I think level 12 maybe. I can't exactly remember. Maybe 8. Does not affect PvP at this point. So if you're looking to do PvP eventually when they add it to the game, know that some of your turrets, mostly some of your utility turrets as far as the shielding and the taunting, are going to be pretty worthless. Very similar to taunt for a warrior. I don't know that I know of any MMOs that have made warriors taunt do anything decent in PvP. So that's kind of unfortunate. Maybe they can change that. You would think they could just make it shield you, very similar to Righteous Shield for the Priest, which would still work in PvP and probably eventually would be quite overpowered since it's based on a percentage of your hit points, and tanks are eventually going to have the most hit points in game, and so their shield will have those as well. But I'm going to press on. I'm going to go ahead and log off of that account so I'm not running two systems, two instances rather, of BlueStacks. But yeah, I do find that unfortunate. I'll put it into the forums and into the Discord chat, see what the devs say about it. But let's go ahead and just shut this instance down real quick. Alright, and then we're going to get back to the Slayer class, which was the purpose of the stream. And I'll probably only be streaming for maybe an hour. I think that's about, hopefully, all it will take to finish this class up. So let's go to here. I don't remember exactly where I left off, so let's take a look at what we have on our map. Alright, so we've got that quest. This is probably the quicker way to go do it. I have to remember how to play my Slayer. It's been, I think, a full week. But, I mean, everything's pretty similar at this level. But I actually forgot what some of these skills are, so let me look real quick. So, that one is pretty maxed up. That is my heal. Chop, chop. That's Doom. And that is my strike multiple things at once thing. Alright, so we just got these last two levels to go here. Have to do it. We could either grind it out, but I do have all the quests left to do. Just warm up a little bit on a couple of these. Oh, that one's already walking away. I'll just have this quick collect grain quest, I believe. And then we're going to head up and talk to Flo. After playing the Engineer with its bugged energy reboost, I'm going to have to get used to looking at energy again and using energy pots. Let's see what I got. 6 heals and 41 energy pots. So no issue with energy pots. Let's see. Hopefully this is, I think, the last grain we need. Nope. Guess we need another one. I'm still not quite sure I understand the Doom mechanic. If anybody is watching the stream and is really understanding how the Doom mechanic works, feel free to chime in on the chat, and then we can take a look at it and test it out a little bit. But I really haven't spent too much time trying to figure it out, to be honest. But I don't see any icons telling me I've created Doom. So it's a little bit strange. I think that's just a repeatable quest. I'm going to go ahead and press on up to Garrett Square and move on with the main quest. Can always come back to some of these side quests later. I don't believe this guy is very well geared. I didn't do any grinding as far as gear goes. I just leveled him up to 12 just on mobs alone, and then came out one day and I didn't even stream it, just got up to level 13 by doing some other quests. Should have a side quest here to do. The jewel heist. I don't remember if I did that the first time or not. I don't understand this quest here that you constantly get, where it's to fight this guy. I don't get what the point of it is, really. Sometimes you get bugged and it doesn't want to let you out of combat. Come on. Let's see, let's take one swing over here. See if that lets me out of combat. Cannot talk to this guy until I am out of combat. Run away. Come on. There we go. Finally out of combat. So 16 whole experience. Again, that's... And I'm not even going to do the jewel heist, I don't think, right now. I'm going to press up north to keep going with the main quest line. Hopefully, as I get up there, start to get some more experience from mobs, and I get more experience from the quest. I said it on many streams after I did this experiment. I do not recommend skipping the quest line and just racing forward to fight stuff, because you end up kind of short on experience and you have to do the quest anyway, and then you're kind of running through the areas that you would have been while you're gaining good experience and getting really poor experience. So it's really not worth it as far as I'm concerned. Gotta at least check a vendor when you roll by him. Ugh. Should be automatic when I come into the city. Remove my attack status. Can't attack anybody past those guards. Oh really? This person is still killing me. Shadow Warrior gear, nothing. Should probably hit the Slayer gear shop. A whole 34 experience. So could tell I'm not going to be making very fast progress doing these quests at this pace. See what these guys give me for experience. $21 experience. Get my cloth. I need 2 crates of food, 2 cloths. Not going to travel too far from here to search for those because they should drop right around here. There's another cloth over there. Got to get used to this class again and remembering to drink juice, good old juice. Give me some hit point regen. We are out of mana, so we're going to pop one of those. I constantly still calling it mana, even though it's energy in this game. That's just ingrained in my vocabulary from many, many different MMOs. Alright, one more crate of food. There's one over here. Doesn't look like the boss is up, which is probably fine because I definitely could not kill him with this guy solo. Alright, let's kill this guy so then we can tell it. Whoops. Oh, wasted a heal pot. One of not many. I might have to log another character on and transfer some heal pots to this guy, to be honest. I had a couple of viewers, so I appreciate it. I am watching the YouTube chat, so if you have any game questions or just want to give a shout out, feel free. All I'm looking to do today is level this guy up, this Slayer up to level 15 so I can do a proper review of the class. Check the chat boards. Definitely feel like the Discord chat is starting to get a little bit less active. Could be coming off the New Year's holiday, being New Year's Day. Could just be that, you know, people are just bored of the first 15 level and, you know, it's gonna slow down a little bit until they come out with some higher levels and some new content. Definitely seeing less. I don't like the word less. Fewer people just roaming around and killing mobs than previously. That got me 5 more heal pots, which is much needed. And might as well finish these side quests. Let's sell what we've got here. Try not to get overburdened. I think I got that for the next level. So we'll keep that axe. The rest of this stuff should be junk. That's my offhand axe. I think that's my main hand axe. So I'm set on weapons once I level to 14. To remember where the Slayer vendor is as well. Again, it's been a little while since I played this guy, so I have forgotten Slayer vendor location. Alright, let's go get our 5 colored scarves. Not from malcontents. Not from you. It's a malcontent as well. I don't know why they've got me a circle in this area. Here's a scarfed person. Amazingly got the kill over that Archmage. Oh, this is a 3-star. I'm definitely going to have to heal. Otherwise, is it going to let me heal? Barely. Oh, good. The Archmage is going to help me finish it off. Much appreciated. Oh, damage dealer Archmage. Grinding away. It's honestly been the most painful level or class to level, only because again I switched or skipped the quest and just leveled to level 12, grinding on experience mobs, pushing forward north the whole time, and that's kind of made it boring to level. That's why I had to walk away from it for a full week. Oh. I'm just gonna try and truly grind it out here. Now I'm just kind of fighting over mobs with this Archmage, which if I can get the first hit off, I'm okay, but let's... Alright, we just need one more. I'd love to just get away from you. What are some tips you suggest when starting the game? So the first thing I suggest is when you're first starting the game, they're going to have you go to your kind of your class area, and there is a class equipment vendor there that sells all level 3 gear. So you're not going to be able to afford that gear right off, but I think the weapons are typically like 9 silver, and the armor's even cheaper, maybe 7 silver. So go back to that area often. Maybe especially to get your weapons. Go back there often. As soon as you get some silver, go back there and buy some pieces. Start with your weapons, and then buy some of the armor pieces. You'll use that gear for quite a while. I mean, I still have a lot of it still equipped. You might find some upgrades when you get to the level 15 vendor, but you're definitely going to be using that level 3 gear for a while. It's got stats and good armor and good damage on the weapons. So it's definitely recommended to go back to that vendor often in those initial levels. Especially if you're on your way to repair and you still got the starter gear. Don't spend money to repair the starter gear when you can buy better gear with that money that you would normally repair with, and then just throw away the starter gear basically. What else? Go through the quest line. Don't try and skip the quest line. That's what I've been kind of saying on this stream, is that with this guy I did that, and I just ended up spending a lot more time leveling him than, and I don't really want to fight these guys when I don't have any health. And I just really want one more scarf here. Try and figure out what class you want to play. Al, do you know, if you're still on, what class you're thinking about playing? This last scarf is being super stingy. Looks like we got 5 people watching now. Certainly not a blockbuster, but you know, there's not a huge audience yet for this game as far as I can tell. And there's our first crash of the day. So I will get back into the game, hope that I'm not dead. It's okay, Sir Cellular. You know, it's the one that I leveled up just grinding away on mobs, so I'm just going back to try and finish it off. Just had my first crash of the day, so it'll take me a second to get back in. At the start of the video, one of the things I did is I had my engineer on another screen, and I did some testing of the engineer's shielding turret to see if when you're dueling somebody in PvP, if it automatically absorbs the damage of the incoming attacks until it's destroyed. And unfortunately, it does not. So the only reason that works in PvP is that it's actually taunting the mobs. Well, when you're playing PvP, the other player can just completely ignore that turret, which I believe is going to mean the taunting turret you get later on is also going to be useless in PvP. PvP is not a big factor in the game right now, but yeah, definitely a PvP spec, or PvE spec rather. Now there's other things that you can do with turrets down the line. There's AoE damage. You know, maybe if it was massive AoE, you could use the one where you can actually target your turret and blow it up to do AoE damage. So there's that. But it is unfortunate, you know, like the warrior priests, they have righteous shield, which puts a shield on them that absorbs incoming hit points up to a certain percentage of the warrior priest's main hit point pool, and that would work in PvP because that's putting the shield on you. It'd be nice if that was the same for the engineer's shield. But maybe it would be overpowered. Who knows? Maybe they'll add it once they do add PvP. You know, kind of hard to judge at the moment. I will say the Slayer uses a lot of heal potions, at least at this level. I mean, I'm fighting stuff that's 5 levels below me and feel like I'm constantly having to pot. The juice here, Bugman's Best, not doing a whole lot, to be honest, in keeping my health up at this level. Oh, L, I mean, Archmage can't really go wrong with the Archmage, at least currently. Very hard to tell what they'll do in endgame, or not endgame really, but in live as far as changing the class. Right now, it's a really fun class to level. I've got a video out there. You can watch me level an Archmage. I may level another one, go healer spec, so I have a little bit of understanding on that spec going into the game live. But it definitely the heaviest damage dealer in the game, at least over the first 15 levels. Some of the other characters, especially like the Witch Hunter, I believe, you know, are dependent on mechanics that I think are going to come later, like Mark and things of that nature. But yeah, the Archmage has a stun, it has a root, and it can solo anything in the game right now with ease. Way easier than anybody else. You have to use mana potions, energy, I'm sorry. But they're more plentiful than heal potions, and you really don't have to use a ton of heal potions when you're using that stun. Man, not even 50% the way through this level yet. It is really grindy when you do it the way I did it. And the problem is, for those watching, is that if you do the quest as you level, like if I was doing that quest right there when I was supposed to, I would have been getting experience from the mobs as well. Then I move on to the next level, do the next quest line, and I'm getting good experience from those. By skipping all the quests and then going back, I'm getting very minimal experience from these mobs. So it does not really, in the end, save you any time, at least in these first 15 levels. We are not going to do more evidence because there's really no reason to. So we got to go here. There are a couple of quests that are coming up of the main quest line that I hope will still give me experience. I should have written down what experience quests were giving me when I was leveling up my engineer yesterday through 15 and finishing the storyline, and then compared to what those same quests give me today, to see if you skip the quest, level past them, and then go back, does the quest experience itself change? Or is it just that when it has a perception that it's changing, but what it is that the amount of experience you need to level has just gone up significantly. Let's do a test on one of these guys, level 9s. Let's see how much experience they give to see if it's worth killing. 13 experience. It's really not worth killing, but I also don't want to try and run past them. I have to use a ton of heal potions. Anybody else watching have any other questions? Anything they want to chat about while I do this really boring grind to level 15? Well, I would almost guarantee. I even think they've said so in their interviews that end game world bosses is definitely on the roadmap. What we don't know yet, like, are they going to put dungeons in? Are those dungeons going to be instance, so that instance meaning you can get a group of people, you can go in it, and you've got the dungeon all to yourself. I get a group of people, I go in, I get a whole new dungeon. That way we're not fighting over all the same content. And hopefully with endgame they have a good mix of instance endgames and open world endgames. It's possible, Sir Cellular. It's incredibly hard to tell where people are going to end up. Only 63 experience for this quest. I guess I'm not walking very far to turn it in. It's incredibly hard to tell how things are going to end up, in the first 15 levels of any game. Just not enough skill points to go around. Not enough optimizing of builds because it's too expensive to, from a time perspective, it's too expensive to have to start over just so you can reset your skill points and abilities. But yeah, the Slayer definitely is going to be a powerhouse because they've got some good mechanics. The Doom mechanic, I think it kind of remains to be seen how well that's going to work. I think the Witch Hunter is going to be much more powerful in endgame in later levels than they are now because of Mark. Where it's a little bit harder to use Mark right now because you just don't have enough stat points. Yeah, they are supposed to be able to go either way. Oh, let's see. See if we can get this guy taking damage awfully fast. Oh, that helped. Alright, good. We needed that guy to press on. Let's see. Can we go around this way? There is a boss, a named boss here that drops some jewelry sometimes. It can be a little difficult depending on your class. I would not fight him with this Slayer. Still haven't found all these dogs, I don't think. Pet the dog. See if there's something special going on there if you pet them all. See, I'm getting nothing for experience. 63 experience. Oh, this is just gonna be so grindy. I mean, I've been streaming for about 37 minutes and I've only gotten halfway through level 13. So again, if you're new, this isn't necessarily normal. This is just because the way I leveled this guy was I skipped all the quests and I just killed mobs, got to level 12, and then went back and started doing the quests. Now, if the forest was open, you get to higher level mobs, you could probably press on and continue, and it actually would be faster to grind out the experience on mobs because you're just not doing any running around, you're just grinding. The problem is, I don't know if you can even get into the forest if you don't do the quest line. The current quest line ends by talking to a guy who is going to tell you to go into the forest, and maybe they don't even let you in there. So I'm certainly not going to take a chance during release to not do the quest line, at least on my first character, and then try and get into the forest, and I can't. And then I have to go back and grind them all at, you know, might as well do them when you're running around the zones anyway. Yeah, interesting. I was on Discord one time, and Definitus said something about the dogs, and I said, well, I've been trying to find them all, but I feel like I keep finding them on different characters. And he said, well, maybe you're not doing it right. And, you know, I don't know if that meant there is something to it. I did start to take screenshots, so maybe we should put resources together and see where all the dogs are that people have found, and then take a character or two around and pet them all and see what happens. It seems like that should do something. Could be an order you have to pet them in, for all we know. Seven people watching now, so steadily growing. Be nice to be streaming on a game that is really popular, like Fortnite or something, and have like 10,000 people or something. Those guys get a lot of jewelry boss up. Pretty sure I cannot take him solo with this guy. I don't know. Maybe I'll try and then run if I have to, but I don't really want to spend time repairing. But these guys are not great soloers, to be honest. Let's hit that up, and then want that to be close to refresh. Okay, it is now. Drink that. Oh, let's see if I can get the lock. No, he locked. Well, I'll help him. He came in with a snake attack right there after I cleared everything. Let's see if he kills him. He got him. Well, congrats to him. I think I got to kill this guy anyway, so at least he's clear now. I hope so, L. I mean, my concern is how much is VR going to promote the game? I mean, they did not clearly OTM owned Celtic Heroes or Celtic Heroes prior to VR, and they did a piss poor job of promoting it. It's a great game. I mean, I still play it to this day. Um, it's one of the most unique and classic type MMOs on mobile, and it's got a lot of content. I mean, it takes a long time to level. To get to the max soft level of 220. A lot of end game content. Not as much as some of us would hope after a game has been out for 8 years. I think they spent a lot of time spending their time developing seasonal events rather than developing permanent content to expand the lands. And that way, when new people came in, there'd just be more for them to do. So once OTM decided they were going to concentrate on expanding the content and more permanent content rather than seasonal, they came out with Corrupted Gardens. Then they started to work on rewriting the Unreal Engine so they could use, I think, the latest version of Unreal. And that's right around the time that VR took over. I don't know why. VR took over the game, and they finished the engine. They came out with Dio, which is another boss, but not a whole zone. And that's really where the game's been for, man, at least a year, if not 2 years. And so hopefully that's not a pattern. We'll see. We know they've been working on this game in the meantime, and they are a small development team, so time will tell. Windows is trying to install updates. I want updates right at the moment. Alright. I need to retrieve 5 gunpowder barrels real quick. Almost to level 14. A lot of times, even when you do the quest, you have to grind out at least half of level 14, if not the full level. So that's not too unordinary. Unusual, I guess would be a better word there. Yeah, maybe. I don't know what Apple does. I mean, there's so many MMOs on the market. You almost have to pony up. And I remember when, what was the game? Age of Empires. It's one of those city building games. And they put so much money in it. They had ads running during the Super Bowl. Now, VR doesn't have anywhere near that kind of budget, but you would see those ads all the time for like a 6-month period. And it's one of the only mobile games besides maybe League of Legends, not League of Legends. I'm trying to think of the Lineage, where you would actually see a mobile game advertised on major TV networks. Most of the other ones you'll see like on YouTube advertising, Twitch advertising, those kind of things, but not necessarily on a major network. But Age of Empires had probably 100,000, if not more, people playing it, and they were top with Clash of Clans, on the list of moneymakers on Apple for the longest time. May still be, I don't know. So it definitely pays to advertise. I mean, when people have a zillion games to choose from, if you don't put it right in front of them somehow, chances are they're not going to find it. Now, what does this game have going for it? It's got the Warhammer name, right? It's got the Warhammer IP. Warhammer itself has a huge following. I didn't know much about Warhammer until I played Warhammer Online, which was an MMO that came out, I believe, in 2008, and I played that shortly after it released until the servers closed down. Game of War, yeah. Yeah, and do you remember, Al, how much they advertised that game? It was like, it was all over TV. and that was such a pay-to-win game. Like I did pretty well in that game for not spending any money. In fact, I was able to sell resources. I had a couple accounts going, two or three different. I think I actually had four accounts going, and come on, let me out of combat here. So I had four accounts going. One that was completely set up to farm food. One that was completely set up to farm something else, stone. I don't even remember what the resources were. And then I was able to sell that stuff for some real money. I made probably a few $1,000s off the game before I moved on to something else. Alright, that got me out of combat. Yes, you do. I'm surprised that's a turnoff to you. I mean, that's pretty standard in any kind of a classic MMO that you apply stats. So if we look here, here's our stat allocation. So I'll just go over it. You can get some more details on some of my other streams, but weapon, increases physical damage dealt, and this is different. These do different things depending on the class, or more to the point, they're more important depending on the class. Accuracy increases the chance your attacks will hit the target. So far at early levels, this does not appear to be worth putting points in. That may be tweaked. That may change later on. Initiative, increase your chance to evade incoming attacks. Again, testing has shown early levels not necessary. It doesn't really increase your evades. Wounds increases your maximum health. And I believe this is, I think it's 10 per one you spend. So let's see, hit points 1032. Do I have to change screens here? 1052, so I was wrong. So 20 points per wounds. Focus slightly increases your physical damage, and leadership increases your maximum energy. Hey, Luke. So I always max my weapon on most characters. Depends on the character. And I think this guy needs some more hit points instead of slightly increasing my physical damage. So we're going to do that. Get our hit points up a little bit. And action items. Let me just look here. So what I had planned to do was max out Doom's Edge to give me another 30% damage. And what you have to do in beta, because you only have 15 AP, is the only thing you can spend is AP in that particular thing that you want to max to level 6. This would, I don't know, I mean, I'm just looking at Bugman's Best, and gains 324 health regeneration over 20 seconds. There's nothing here that increases this as you level. So that's a problem, right? I mean, 324 health early on is great, in those first 6, 7 levels. Even now, it's not doing anything for me. I mean, it's not even a full heal pot, right? I think a full heal pot for a miner is like 400. So oh, that's a good idea, Luke. Didn't even think about that. This should be going up per level, in some aspect. I'm going to have to mention this in the engineer forum, get the devs thinking about it, because past the first 15 levels, even 10 levels, to me, this becomes useless, right? Even if you cool it down, you can cool it down to 5, 9, 14, 20 seconds. So you could still only have it on, 40 seconds out of every minute. No, not 40 seconds out of every minute. You can recast it every 40 seconds. Yeah, that's a problem for this class who depends on this Bugman's Best to regen some hit points. It just does not scale with level. Nothing here is going to help it. So yeah, let's get back to it. Oh, and I got my weapons I can equip because I did pre-buy some level 14 weapons. Oh, another crash. Most of my crashes, I will say, come from either if I'm going into the character select screen or coming out of the character select screen. So we'll get back in. Let me read up on chat. Yeah, and trying to control the domain was hell. What do you mean by domain? Gives it diversity with what you do or how you play. Yeah, I mean, that definitely the stats. I mean, you'll be able to reallocate your stats. I'm pretty sure you can do that in Celtic Heroes. We don't know yet how you're going to get that ability, how often you'll be able to use it. But, you know, definitely within Celtic Heroes, for example, there's certain stats on certain characters that you're just never going to put points into, right? You're never going to get points, you know, into strength typically for a druid. I could be wrong there. Maybe some totem druids put in strength, but I think it's very rare. Let's see, as a ranger, some people put into focus to get more energy. On my ranger, I don't put any points into focus. I just get that from gear. Let's see, rogues. Trying to think. I mean, every class could put... Oh, it's going to make me close the game completely out. So I do apologize for this and take even longer to get back in. Yeah, true, Luke. Luke, by the way, I did a test on the engineer at the beginning of this stream. You can watch the recording where I dueled my Slayer and I dropped the shield construct down, and the Slayer just completely ignores it. Right? You target the player, so I targeted the engineer, and none of the damage that I was doing uh, went to the totem, not the totem, the construct, the shielding construct. So great tool in PvE, but down the road when they add PvP, as it stands right now, pretty useless, which is pretty unfortunate. Oh, Eddie. Yeah, I can, Eddie F. I can answer that as far as allocating points to abilities. Let me get back into the game, and we'll go over that real quick. So while this is loading, you know, every class has basically a tree structure. So let's just open it. Hopefully we don't crash again coming out of it. Don't worry about the crashes. Again, they can be either this is a soft launch. I'm running it on an emulator, not fully supported by VR. And there's a lot of bugs and crashes they know about that they're going to fix anyway. Before we get out of here, let's go ahead and equip these beauties. Make sure they're equipped. Good. So everybody's got a tree that looks very similar to this. So you start out with, you know, your main attack. This is kind of your auto attack. Does some damage, and it's going to build up. For the Slayer, it's called Rage. If we go back here and we target something. So up here at the top, these three little bars, and for the Slayer, it's called Rage. For the Archmage, it's called something else. For every class, it's called something else. And that allows you to build up these little bubbles that you see down here. These two skills only allow for one rage. Other skills allow you to get 2 rage, 3 rage, and those will increase what that skill does. So if I come in, I get this attack off before that rage runs out, it's going to use one of those rages, and it's going to do more damage based on that skill. So if we go back into the abilities again, or actions, they're actually called actions. And we look at Doom's Edge, which is my second tier skill, one rage deals an additional 30% damage. So building up, and again, every class is called something different, but building up that special is a key component to maximizing your damage. So you go auto attack, first level skill, you then get another skill, and then you have to choose. So here I either had to choose between Chop Chop and Sever. I'm not going to go over individually what all these do. I did that on my initial Slayer stream. Then you come back in and everybody gets Doom. Still don't really understand how Doom works. I'm not even sure if it is working. At level 10, you get to choose which path you're going to go down. So, for example, a Warrior Priest is going to choose I'm going to be a tank or I'm going to be a healer. A lot of times it's based on weapon choice as well. Warrior Priest tank is going to use shield and hammer. Healer is most likely going to use a two-handed hammer and no shield. Slayer is going to go down a path like I did. The Dragon Slayer, they're going to use 2 axes, where the other Slayer, which is more tanky, is going to use a two-handed hammer. And with each tier here, besides that first level tier, you have up to level 6 upgrades. And the way it works is it's level 1 is free, level 2 is 1 action point, level 3 is 2 action points, level 4 is 3, level 5 is 4, level 6 is 5 action points. And you get 1 action point per level. Now, it might be that later on in the game, as higher level gear drops, I'm really hoping that gear will add action points to certain skills, right? So maybe you find a piece of gear that gives +3 to Doom's Edge or something. Although now that I think about it, I'm not sure how that's going to work because it's not skill point based, it's level based. So I don't know how they're going to do that. Maybe when you get to the max level, if it's 50, maybe you only get 50 points and you've got to spend those however you want. But then as you go down, I think at level 12, you get to choose another single skill. Level 15, you get another single skill. Then here you get another tree that you got to choose a path. Collapses down, single path. And it just kind of goes like that all the way down. Alright, let's kind of press on here. Yeah, Eddie, those kind of things, those will all come naturally as the game progresses. Again, I definitely think they're going to have the ability for you to respec in the game, probably via some kind of item that you get, but we're not sure yet how you're going to get them. If you're going to get them out of a chest, if you have to buy them. Hopefully they're not behind a paywall because it's going to make a lot of people have to start over a lot if so. Yeah, Luke, I would see it definitely adding specials to certain skills. So, very similar like a Celtic Heroes. But yeah, I'm not sure how they can add. I mean, it could do something where like you get a axe and it says gives level 2 of Doom's Edge, right? To where if you have it equipped, you start at level 2 and then you can just start advancing it from there. The problem would be what happens when you unequip that, right? You lose all of your levels in Doom's Edge, so they may not be able to add additional action points, maybe on equipment. Or maybe they'll have stuff you can find in game. Maybe certain quests will give you an action point. Beating certain mobs will give you an item that you can use that gives you an action point. Who knows what they're going to do. So at any given time, you can only carry 4 skills and 1 auto attack skill. No. So level 1 of all the skills you always get, right? And it doesn't cost you an action point. So when I hit level 15, right down here, this is just going to say learn, and I'll be at level 1. So even if I don't put any action points into Guided by Doom, And maybe this is why Doom doesn't work. Maybe you have to have this before it starts working. I'm not sure. But you'll always have this. You just won't. You'll have it at level 1. So you'll have all of these skills. Now, when we get down to the trees, you'll choose one of them. But by the time you get 50, which is the max level, you'll have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 skills plus your auto attack. And then you have your 50 action points to put into the different skills you want, creating a build that where skills complement each other, and you're kind of maximizing your damage. I really need to start talking and doing some leveling as we go on. Yep, Luke, yep, you definitely chatted that as I was explaining it. Hit this quest up over. One down here we're going to hit up. It depends. So you actually right now, there's 4 hotspots, and then you can rotate to 4 more, and then if you have things assigned, you can rotate to 4 more. Yes, some are passives, as Luke said, but you get 12 hotspots or skill bubbles or whatever we're going to call these things. Man, this is going to be I think this is a fight here. Eventually, it definitely is, and I'm going to have to run. They attack me right away? Not yet. Forgot what I was talking about. Let's see. Skill slots. Yeah, that's a good explanation. And you'll probably be able to buy more skill slots, I would guess, behind a paywall, if history repeats itself with this game versus Celtic Heroes. Isn't a limited build size. What do you mean by a build size? Man, I am getting stuck in combat a lot today. More so than with any other class. At least they're starting to give a little bit more experience. I doubt this guy has anything because there was just an archmage here. Yeah, oh crap. For example, in Guild Wars 1, you can only carry 8 skills at a time, 8 empty skill slots. But yeah. So you can carry as many as you'll have them all that you're able to choose depending on the path you choose. But right now, there's only 12 hotspot type things. And some you may stop using as you level. You may find that there's other skills that are more beneficial. Somebody had asked early on what you should do. What are some tips for early on? One thing I found with just about every class, and there may be some micro optimizations, but one thing I found with every class so far is that it's a good bet to start putting points into this skill right here. Every class has a starter skill here that's right after your auto attack, where as you're putting points into it, you're increasing damage, and a lot of times you're reducing cooldown. This one starts at a 6-second cooldown. But look at all the extra damage. So 5, 15, 30, 50, 80% more damage on top of this 30% right here. Well, I don't have the 30 yet. That comes when I level. I think that's going to be a skill you're always going to use, and that you're always going to want 15 points in, which is going to get it to level 6. So my thought process is going to be I'm probably going to do that right from the start, like right when I'll just save all my action points and level it up as I can, and then at 15 I'll get it to level 6. So I'm doing maximum damage with that skill. And then as I level, I'll figure out what I'm going to start putting the next bit of action points in. Again, I don't think you can go wrong doing that with just about any class. Yep, I would agree with Luke about the starter. It's funny, we're definitely on the same page. Man, Luke, do you remember the Slayer getting stuck in combat a lot? Like, I can't remember any other class constantly still being in combat when I run up to an NPC. Oh, the Doom. So how do you know you're under Doom? Where is there an icon somewhere? Um, Eddie, I'd say right now it's faster to solo. I think that if you did the quests early on, at least in these first 15 levels, which is all we have to go by, what you're going to find is you're getting the same level of experience from the quests, but you're getting half as much experience from the things you're killing. So I think it's going to slow you down because you definitely, every class can solo at this level. But I would expect that to change down the line, right? I'm sure they do want this to be a cooperative game. So depending on when it starts to make more sense to grind experience versus grinding quest and killing mobs at the same time, I would say groups will eventually be something that not only will give more experience, but more than likely will also give better gear, right? So there's going to be a time and a place for both. Man, Slayer really does use a lot of heal potions. Luke, what do you think about what I was saying? I mean, you played the Slayer quite a bit about the Bugman's juice or Bugman's drink, whatever it is. Doesn't scale with your level. Is that something you noticed or hadn't even thought about? I mean, it quite literally, after level 15, even now, it's almost a useless skill. 320 some hit points every 60 seconds is nothing when you're, taking a couple hundred a fight. So how you can tell you have Doom is when you take damage, your character gets a rage and damages you, I guess. I noticed it, but I found I only use it for higher crit chance. So rage mean the 3 special bars up here, it gains an extra rage. I don't know why I'm going this way. This isn't even the way I'm supposed to go. Yet. I need to travel here. I should be logging for Gelly right now on Celtic Heroes. I could pull an Audible and stream that. Let me know if the few people that are on the stream, if you've never seen any endgame from Celtic Heroes and you're interested, I could always log out and run that. I actually been wanting to do that anyway because I actually set up my iPad yesterday to be able to stream to my streaming setup, so I could actually play that from my iPad. I do want to get this guy leveled though on this video, which is the only problem. And I'm only... Is that going all the way over there? Yeah, it's getting there. There's a quest you have to do at the Yeah, what I'll do, give me I'll have a few minutes. Let me start logging my iPad. I'll stream it from my iPad. Oh man, this has gotten myself into a little bit of trouble here. Oh, I don't know if whoops. I accidentally activated the stream there. Let's see, I've actually got to activate my NDI here. Start broadcast. Okay, then we'll go into here. Yeah, that hit point regen is about worthless at this level already. No, not stats so far, only level. I've not seen any gear that requires specific stats. Let's see if I can snipe this guy and steal some experience. Really don't want to fight a level 3 with this guy. Overburdened. $12 experience. What's that going to do for me? And then another 24 experience. So this is where I'll just have to grind it out pretty much. Focus on the level 2 guys. Oh, I didn't want to attack that guy. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. Give me a second. I got to run my character. Here, I might as well. Let's see. Let me get to a safe spot here. I'm going to tuck back in this corner. So again, some people watching, I'm going to deviate a little bit from what I was doing. Let's see. I do need to reach. I was going to redo this shot a little bit here. Let me center this up. I was just experimenting with this yesterday, streaming from my iPad, so give me just a second. That's centered up. Alright, so in a second you're going to be seeing Celtic heroes. Unfortunately, iPads have a really strange resolution. It's like 1280, at least the iPad I have, it's like 1280 by 960, which does not fit all the way into a standard 16 by 9 frame. So you get those black bars on the side. And let's see, still do see my voice going in. So I'm just running right now to the end game boss. And then I'll probably be able to switch back to Warhammer while we get set up for it. So definitely a deviation here from what I had planned to do, but I do kind of have an obligation to my clan here in Celtic Heroes. Alright, so we're all kind of sitting here. And I'm just going to go back to Warhammer. Check 1, 2. Okay, good. So we're just going to be waiting for that to kick off. When I see a last call and go in, then I will jump back on it, switch the stream. Otherwise, we're just going to grind this out, get level 15. One thing I really wish they would do is make auto attack an on-off thing, where you're not having to constantly press it while you're manipulating other skills or trying to chat, something like that. Just feel like you're constantly having to micromanage that. I do have to go pretty quickly after I level and finish this up because I really hadn't planned for this to take so long, but I had a lot of good questions from Elle and Eddie for the most part. Wanted to answer them, and that deviated me a little from a little bit of leveling while I was in my inventory screen, but that's okay. That's why I do these. Gives some information. Got to be careful not to use Whirlwind here. Well, I'm going to try and get aggro on this guy and hope that the Archmage starts to... I was able to take a 3-star out. That's good. Getting closer with every kill. I'll also commentate while we're doing the Galley Raid. So if you're not familiar with Celtic Heroes, you're not going to have a clue about what we're doing. So I'll commentate a little bit. Let's risk it. Try and take another one of these guys out here. Archmage must have been casting behind me because I definitely wouldn't take it out that fast. Out of energy. Getting close to level. Maybe I'll get it done before we have to kill some endgame in Celtic Heroes. You can see it. If you don't notice, the silver ring around my character's icon up here on the top is your experience. You can also see that in the stat bar. You need a mob to kill. Here we go. Ew, another one of these guys. Let's give it a shot. Nah. Let's go back to these guys. Oh, loading screen. Didn't want to do that. All right, let's get on this guy. Got to be close here. Drink my worthless juice there. Oh, good. He left this guy for me. Alright, just a sliver. Maybe 1 or 2 more kills. And we will have this level. Yeah, if you're in a group, you share experience. I don't know that we know the exact formula. You know, is it cut in half? Are you getting, 60%? There's the level up. So let me just get somewhere safe here. Yeah, not many people group up right now in these levels, so we're just going to kind of come up here where I know it's safe, overlook the thing here. And since I'm level 15, I do have one more action point I got a skill to get, which is going to be guided by doom. As they sense their doom inching ever closer, the Slayer's fury rises into a crescendo. Increases damage of your basic attack by doom percentage times 0.1. Just passive skill, so I'll learn that. And then I'm going to put my 5 action points I've been saving up into level 6 of Doom's Edge, increasing my damage by 30%. And for anybody that's just joining, I'm just waiting for, let me make sure my iPad doesn't time out. Celtic Heroes is another game that I play. Some of you may be from that game or heard of it. Waiting for an end game boss fight to get going, and then I'm going to actually switch over, even though this is a Warhammer stream. I figured why the hell not? I'm already streaming. I don't want to create a new stream. I want to show it because I also want to test out a new setup for being able to stream from my iPad. That way I'm all set up to do it once Warhammer is available on my iPad. If anybody's ever looking to do that, what you're looking for is called NDI HX from NewTek. And what it does is if you have an NDI capable encoder like Wirecast or OBS Studio or vMix that can accept an incoming NDI feed, it will send your iPad signal over your wireless network and be picked up by whatever's on that screen, and the audio will be picked up by that encoder as a shot. You can then add your mic to it, your audio, your camera if you want to be visually on there. I think this guy is going to kill me maybe because no, I don't want to fight anybody else. Alright, so we're getting on last call here. I did just get a Slayer's Battle Axe. I wonder what level that is. Let's hit that guy heal so I have a little bit of hit points. Level 11, not an upgrade. Alright, so 1 second, I'm getting a call. Yep, so here's what I'm going to do, guys, for those watching the stream. I'm going to switch my shot over to Celtic Heroes. If you're on the stream and you don't care about Celtic Heroes, throw it off. If you're saying, hey, why the hell? And my audio is a little loud, I feel like, coming into this shot. Let me lower that a little bit, just a second. Check, 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 1, 2, check, 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 1, 2, 1, 2, check, 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 1, 2. That's a little bit better, I feel like. If that's too low, let me know. I can always raise it up. And I've added some sound effects from the game. Let's take a look at. Let's just lower the music. You know what? Let's turn off the music. I don't want to go to main menu. So, if you guys have never, again, I'm doing Celtic Heroes just because I was doing a stream in Warhammer, got my Slayer to level 15, which is what I wanted to do, and I'm gonna mute the audio in this. Which is what I wanted to do, and my clan in Celtic Heroes had a fight, an endgame fight that we needed to do, and I also wanted to test out this new NDI technology from my iPad. So what I'm doing is I'm streaming from my iPad to another computer, then streaming out to YouTube, and then my microphone is hooked up to that computer. I've also got a camera up on it, but I'm not quite ready with backgrounds and whatnot to start showing my camera. And we're just kind of waiting to get started here. There is probably about 40 people here. I've got my iPad set a little bit lower so that I can't see everybody. You can see people kind of popping in. This zone, if you're not familiar with Celtic Heroes, these are all the different zones. This is the map in Celtic Heroes. I did another stream where I was comparing the interfaces and some of the ideas within Celtic Heroes with Warhammer and some cool suggestions. As I have time during this stream, maybe I'll talk about them. But one of the nice things is as you go into these different maps and whatnot and these different settings, inventory, there's no loading screen, right? So hopefully they're going to fix that within Warhammer. Let me. I've got a buff up here. So we're going. So this fight's pretty interesting. So the first thing you have to do, I got to turn off character select so I'm not targeting other people, is you got to kill these things called Extals, these little crystals that are around the area. And you cannot auto attack them, otherwise they do pretty massive damage to you on auto attack. You have to use your skills. I'm still going back and putting my elixirs on. Elixirs are something that boost your character. They do haste, hit point regen, energy regen, attack. So they boost all of your stats for 15 minutes typically. So if these things are up, they do a massive heal on Gelibron, which is the level 220 endgame boss of this zone. So you have to kill them. You have to keep them down. And once you kill them the first time, they're eventually going to respawn. And you try and kill them as fast as you can. So everybody, besides like the main tank and a couple of people who are debuffing Gelibron, they will move to the Extals, hopefully. And if you get behind, then we have mages who have a skill called Freeze, which is going to allow them to freeze the Extal so that it cannot heal Gelibron until we can get to it. But if you don't have enough mages and you... let's put on some more buffs. Oh, I hit the wrong button there. Let's see. Let's just get into my little routine here. Cast that. So as you can see, I play a ranger on this game. Do I have energy on yet? Nope. So I play a ranger. I'll probably die at least once in this. And I play my ranger a little bit differently than a lot of people do in this game. I play it to maximize the amount of skills I have where others really maximize their DPS. And I'm doing something called hot swapping. So a lot of these lower level icons here are me actually changing out equipment, and the equipment that I'm changing out actually has stats on it that give me a plus to a certain skill. So right here, if I hit this ring and this brace, that ring is giving me a cooldown for my double shot. Here, if I'm hitting this ring on the left and this bracer, that's giving me 25 skill points to a skill called Sharp Shot, which is then allowing me to only put 25 of my points I have to allocate to Sharp Shot in order to maximize it. And that has allowed me to get up to about 9 skills, where most Rangers are running 7. Some newer Rangers without. So I've got a heal skill that a lot of Rangers don't actually use. I'm going to throw that on, get myself buffed back up. I can come over here, and I've still got to put on what's called a bara, which is food. So this game has cooking, which was added a couple years ago. Also has fishing. So again, anybody who's just joining, you're going to look and go, well, this doesn't look like Celtic Heroes. It's not. I was doing a stream of the Slayer class, got to level 15, saw that my clan had a raid pop up to kill this character endgame Gelibron in the Arcane Sanctum, or in Gelibron's tower rather in the Arcane Sanctum zone. We need to quickly get our hit points up. Oh, I wasn't quick enough. So I died there, which means I lost my mount. But I've got some mount whistles here that I can get our auto attack going. Try and focus a little bit on the differences between Celtic Heroes and Warhammer so far. One is auto attack down here in the lower right hand corner is the orange icon with the sword in the hand. You just turn that on and it's doing your auto attack for you. That's not auto play. It's not going to path me anywhere. It's not casting my other skills. It's just that auto damage that it's doing, and it's really nice because it allows you to focus on other things, whether it's chatting or focusing on your skills instead of just constantly having to spam that button. You can see my group that I'm in is over in the left area. We took another big hit there. Let's try and get our hit points up before another one comes. This group does not have a druid in it, which is part of the reason why may die. So here's those Extils. I actually was late getting to them, and so were a bunch of people, so we're a little bit behind. So this is where those mages need to be going ahead of us and freezing that one. Otherwise, it is going to start healing. Froze is another mage, so he should be able to help freeze these now that he's here. And I'm not auto attacking again because that will do damage when you auto attack an Extil. It's important people don't move ahead. If they move ahead and hit a frozen Extil, then it can't be refrozen by the same mage because they're on cooldown, and it'll most likely start to heal Galley. I got to put these buffs back on me. Take just a second, and I'll catch up with the group here. That one's dead. Move on to the next one. The other thing I suggested in the video, if you look at my where I move down here in the lower left, very similar to Warhammer, except they've doubled up that space and they're showing you the little mini map down there as well. I think that is a brilliant idea, and it saves a ton of space on the interface. There's really no reason to have that mini map up in the upper left at the same time as your control area down in the lower left. I think that can all be done as one thing. Good timing there on hitting that heal. You also have pets in Celtic Heroes. I actually have a bunny. My bunny, they're one of the cheaper pets. They're not a premium pet. Premium pets typically are for people who spend money. But my bunny does a heal on me, and it regenerates energy. So I like it. This particular boss has been out, oh, I don't even know, probably I think more than that, probably 5 or 6 years. So it's well on farm status now. Actually, every boss in the game is on farm status because they haven't added a new boss in about 2 years. And I could be wrong on that exact date, but it's been a long time. I need to activate another food item. I forgot to do that after I died. See if we can get this heal off. Most rangers don't run heal. I always have. Really helps me survive, especially when soloing. And I've got some videos of Celtic Heroes on my channel of soloing different things. Never did stream it. This is actually, I think, the first live stream I've done of this game. But much like Warhammer, you're moving around when you need to, but it's a lot of static fighting. It's not like a Crusaders of Light, another death. It's not like a Crusaders of Light or a game like that where during a boss fight you have to be dodging things, you have to be in certain locations, otherwise you'll wipe the raid. World of Kings is another one that's like that. I'm not gonna, and that's GG, good game. Just gonna run to the city, get my mount back. Oh, I'm gonna have to go back to the zone and hand in that drop. Don't want to get caught on a live stream stealing a drop. Let's see who wants drops. Here's the chat interface. And I will, looks like one more new person started. What you're looking at right now is Celtic Heroes. I took a timeout from Warhammer because we had a raid pop up in this game that I had to attend, so I figured why not stream it. But I'm going to go back to Warhammer in just a second to finish up my Slayer stream. Alright, I'll just give my drop to, how much was the gold? I'll call it 12,000. There's $12,000. Let's just say my drops to warrior. Alright, so let me switch back to Warhammer. And there we go, we're back. Alright, so Slayer. Where do I put the Slayer in all the classes I've leveled? I've leveled them all. Have certainly not leveled them all enough that I understand every single path they can go down. I'd say they're good. I'd say they have the ability to become really good down the line. However, their heal drink here is very underpowered as you level. It does not seem to increase as you level in any way, shape, or form that I'm seeing. So it ultimately becomes very underpowered. Even at level 15 already, I find that it's pretty underpowered. Doom, I believe, is something that it means that I have to be taking damage. So I'm not sure how that's going to play in, when you're grouping, right? So when you're grouping, you're not always the one taking the damage. So that could be a problem, potentially. Hard to really say because I'm not sure I quite understand the mechanic just yet. But yeah, I think I'm going to end there. Sean, are you planning on maining a Slayer? Do you understand the Doom mechanic? Do you think it's worthwhile, or is it too hard to tell with just the 15 levels so far? I know there's a lot more skills that or chances to increase what Doom does later on. Yeah, I have to agree. Out of all the classes, I can't say Slayer would be on my tops, but they're cool. You know what I mean? They're cool looking. The double axe, join is pretty good. Well, I can't get over the fact that this skill, your main heal skill that is supposed to kind of keep you going when you're soloing, is, I mean, unless this thing, now wait, did this go up? Maybe, did this go up? I'll have to go back on the stream and the recording and look. When I got to 15, did this go up a little bit? I don't remember what that said, so maybe it did. I'll have to check on that. Luke, you think so? Was it 35 when we were looking at it before? So 9 extra points. Not sure if that's going to make a world of difference. 9 extra points per tick. I think that may need to be balanced. Hey, Richard. I will check my Discord. What do we got here? Alright, let's see what Richard says about Doom. Some of the damage you take goes into a Doom bar instead of your main health. Does that show on the interface anywhere? Every few seconds, some of the Doom is removed and applied as damage to your main health. So that can help increase the Slayer's survive despite not wearing heavy armor. And then there are actions that can play around with Doom, like use it to do more damage or whatever, depending on your spec choice. Yeah, you need to get the Doom action first, and also we have various bugs and UI display to work on. Next, build the conversation with NPC while in combat issue is fixed. For Slayer when they will Doom. Ah, okay. So, Richard, thank you for joining in the stream. I don't know when you joined, but hopefully you didn't take offense for the fact that while I was doing the stream on Warhammer, I had a raid in Celtic Heroes I had to get to, so I swapped over and streamed that and then came back. So hopefully there's no offense there. Same company, so hopefully not. But I definitely mentioned multiple times during that what I was showing was not Warhammer. But what Richard was nice enough to tell me just now in the Discord chat, and I love that the developers are this active. I mean, the fact that this is the second time Richard has watched one of my streams and given me some feedback in Discord that I can then display or distribute to other people. So they're working on the UI. for Doom. And again, let's great, Richard. I'm glad you enjoyed it. So let me read that again. So for Doom, some of the damage you take goes into a Doom bar instead of your main health. So what he says later on is that they're working on the UI, so that Doom bar isn't actually showing it's not showing on the interface, and that's why it's so hard to understand what Doom is doing right now. Every few seconds, some of the Doom is removed and applied as damage to your main health. So that can help increase the Slayer survive despite not wearing heavy armor. And then there are actions that you can play around with, like use it to do more damage or whatever, depending on your spec choice. So you get the Doom action first, and also we have various bugs. So if we then go in here and look at what Doom is saying, let me remember. Yeah, and I did correct myself. So Luke and I did notice that when I leveled, I was saying early on in the stream that I didn't think that Bugman's best was the heal from it was leveling with us or getting any better, so that it was going to be pretty useless. It is doing some leveling. So when I went from 14 to 15, I went from 35 heal per tick to 44, which is 9. I still think that might be a little bit underpowered, but maybe not when we factor in how Doom affects it. So we got to wait. We got to see how everything comes together before we make too many long-term claims. So here we got Doom, and the things that you can upgrade with it are the multipliers. So let's see what Doom does. It delays a portion of the incoming damage by turning it into Doom that deals damage over time to its owner by the amount of Doom they have. Damage absorption 10%. So this means that I believe 10% of the damage that I'm taking right now is going into my Doom bar. Every 4 seconds, it deals damage to yourself by 10% of the Doom amount you have. Okay, now I think I'm understanding. So Richard, if you're with me still, I'm going to explain this, and you tell me in the chat or in Discord if I'm wrong. So at the base level, I take 100 damage. It's going to absorb 10% of that damage into my Doom bar, so 10 points. Every 4 seconds, and let's say that's all that I did. Every 4 seconds, it's going to deal 10% of that damage, that 10% of what I have in my Doom bar back to me. So let's say after 5 seconds, let's say after 4 seconds, I have taken 400 damage. I'm going to have 40 damage in my Doom bar. It's going to deal 10% of that back to me, which is only 4 hit points. 4 damage, if I have that correct. Now I can reduce the Doom multiplier by 10%. Reduce the Doom multiplier by 10%. Then, so they're all 10%, so 50%. I'm not sure what that means. I'm not sure if maybe this is a mistype where this should be higher than 10%, and then every reduction here you're lowering that. Because how can you, if this is the reduction, how can you start at 10% and then keep lowering it by 10% for up to 6 levels? And I see Richard typing in Discord, so maybe he's going to explain that to me. But that may be one of the bugs. It's not bugs, but mistypes. Yeah, so every upgrade you increase the percent of damage that goes into Doom. Okay. Reduce Doom multiplier by 10%. Okay, so damage absorption starts at 10%, and it looks like you can get it up to 60%. So now, so fully upgrade, more of the damage goes into Doom instead of hitting you. And am I correct, Richard, with my explanation? So if we were to take 60% of the damage into our Doom bar, and I took 600 hit points of damage within, let's say, 4 seconds, and I'm at 60%, What is 60% of 600? Is that 400? Let's just call it 400. I think that's right. Um, then only 10% of that actually is going to go to me after that 4 seconds if I don't do anything else with that Doom, which I'm going to go into in a minute. So that's 40 hit points. If that's the case, that's a game changer, right? I mean, as you're leveling this up, that's definitely a game changer for this class. Whirling doesn't do anything with Doom. All right. Guided by Doom. As they sense their Doom inching ever closer, the Slayer Fury raises into a crescendo. So here, increases damage of your basic attack by Doom percentage times by 0.1. Again, not exactly sure. I don't know if a Doom bar like has a certain capacity where the Doom bar is full. Then as that inches closer to being full, let's say it can support 1,000. I think he's responded here. Let's see. So he says the descriptions need a lot of work. So I'm going to stop trying to guess on what this does and give Richard and the VR team the chance to really clean this up. He says that means the more Doom you have, the more damage you do with the basic attack. So yeah, really interesting mechanic. That's what I love about this game. All the classes are really different in their mechanics, and there's multiple paths you can choose so that not everybody's playing a cookie cutter build. And hopefully they've got them all balanced, or will eventually be able to get them all balanced enough that people won't say, hey, this is the best build. Everybody's got to go with this build. Hopefully it can be, and that's tough. Not many MMOs can do that. So that they've got their hands full with trying to do that. Let's see what else uses Doom. Level 25. That one doesn't use any Doom. Maybe these do, but they're not available for descriptions yet. Yeah, understood, Richard. Understood. It's a complicated thing. Frenzied. Frenzied, I think, is when I don't know if frenzied is what it's called when you get into this state where the Doom is Whirling Destruction does some stuff with Doom. So if you have Doom and one Rage, damages yourself with Doom by 1 tick and deals additional 40% damage to the enemy target. So yeah, I've got to kind of end this stream. Let me see if there's any questions. No, nothing left on the YouTube chat. Really want to thank Richard again for tuning into my stream, answering some of the questions. I think we're definitely all looking, forward to the VR team getting back at it after the holidays. Hopefully, they had enough nice break, getting that next phase of whether it's a soft launch or just launching the game out outright, and listening to our feedback. And they're certainly not going to just take it all because we all have different feedback, but they are listening, and I think that's important. And so I'm going to sign off. I actually planned on only doing this for an hour, and I think I've been going for almost 2 hours now. Had the little intermission there with that Celtic Heroes Galibran fight. So hopefully people have never seen that game. I'm not saying one over the other. I like them both. I'm going to be playing them both. But if you want to check it out, please do. It only helps VR, right? If you go and spend a little bit of money on that game, that's going to their company, gives them more resources for both games. So, all right, I'm signing off. Not sure what the next stream is I'm going to do. I may heal up another or level up another Archmage, get to understand the healing path. may do a witch hunter down a different path. But yeah, really enjoyed this one. And everybody have a good New Year's, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks.